Hello everybody, today I will be doing a best case scenario video for the Democrats in 2022. I hope you guys enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, safe Democrat states will be following, it's usually whatever the classified safe Democrat states are, and I'm just going to leave it at 45 for now. Safe Republican states, still the same, safe Republican usually, aside for Indiana, which they'll probably win by a likely margin. But yeah, let's just get to the likely Democrat races. Actually, I'm going to include Colorado as safe, but likely Democrat races, we're going to go with Nevada. They will win by a likely margin, has higher proportion of Democrats to Republicans, although it's a red wave year. They still have a pretty good shot at Nevada. I even have them winning Nevada in the best case scenario for Republicans. Republicans don't even get to win Nevada. Another likely win would be Arizona. That would mean it would shift farther to the left. Republicans would be very unpopular at this point, and Democrats could have an even greater shot at Arizona. Kelly could end up increasing his victory from about 2.4 points in 2020 to about 5.5 points in 2022, giving them a likely Arizona margin. Obviously, I show all my margins in the comment section below. The description below. So if you are interested about that, you can check it out down below. But anyway, that's all of the margins, likely margins for Democrats. Likely Republican margins will be Indiana, Alaska. Even in Alaska with Murkowski, I still think Republicans have a likely chance of winning that race. And Iowa, I still think in the Democrats' best case scenario, Republicans still have a likely shot there, regardless of Chuck Grassley running or not. Grassley probably won't run. If he does run, he will be in his mid to late 90s by the time his next term runs out. So he is incredibly old. He's been in the Senate for a long time. I believe he's 89 years old at the moment. So it doesn't look like he'll run. But although, he's, any Republican still has a pretty likely shot of winning Iowa, even in a Democrat best case scenario. And remember, we are still in a red wave year. I'm still taking that into account. It's just how can Democrats do as good as they can possibly do in this scenario. So anyway, let's get to lean Democrat states. That's going to be New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. All three of these are lean Democrat states. This would mean that Tom Wolf would win in Pennsylvania. Chris Sununu probably wouldn't run New Hampshire. Hassan would win it by about 1.5 points. Pennsylvania, Wolf would win it by about 3.5. And somebody would take back Wisconsin. These still have the potential going Democrats. They haven't fully trended all the way to the right, especially Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and New Hampshire. They've all went to Biden in 2020. Although they are trending to the right, they could stay in the blue column. For 2022, if good candidates are on the Democrats and bad are on the Republicans, it basically just depends on the candidates in these races. If Wolf decides to run or if he doesn't decide to run, and if Sununu decides to run, if he doesn't decide to run. Wisconsin, that's if Ron Johnson decides to run and if he doesn't decide to run. So it's all up to the candidates in my mind in those three particular races. And the trends are looking bad for the Democrats, but they still would need much more time before it gets super serious. It is serious for them, but not incredibly. And it would still need maybe 2024, 2026 before they would start to seriously have trouble winning it, even in the best case scenario. Anyway, let's get to lean Republican states. That's going to be Ohio. That's the only lean Republican state. It would still go to the Republicans. It's been trending to the right since Trump won in 2016, regardless of the candidate. I'm not sure if Rob Portman is running in Ohio or not, but Ohio would be still won by the Republicans. A tilt Democrat state would be Georgia. I still think Raphael Warnock would win by a tilt margin. You could say lean margin. Actually, I'll just go with lean margin at the moment because of the fact that that's anywhere above 1%. I think Warnock could win by above 1% for sure against somebody, even somebody like Herschel Walker. If Warnock is able to bring out the black vote in Georgia, and if Walker is not too popular, or if he runs, or if he doesn't decide to run, it's all about the candidates there. We obviously are still a ways out from even the campaign, let alone the election, and we haven't had defined candidates. So it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge a race simply based off of hypotheticals. But Warnock still has definitely the possibility to win by more than 1%, especially in a Democrat best case scenario. Now let's get to the tilt states. A tilt to Democrat, North Carolina would tilt to the Democrats. They would be able to manage to pick that state up. That could be if their incumbent governor decides to run, he would be a good candidate for them. Or even if Cal Cunningham decides to try again to win the North Carolina race. A lot of opportunity in North Carolina. It's a state that is considered more Republican than Democrat, but Democrats still have a chance at it in their best case scenario, and if they run a good candidate, and if the Republicans don't run a good candidate. And Marco Rubio still would win Florida. He's pretty popular there. He won by over 7.5 points in 2016 in his race, and I still think he would do bad. He would do fine in a red wave year. He would hold on to that race. So anyway, 53 Democrats, 43 Republicans. Best case scenario for the Democrats. Let's do it all one map as I did the Republicans. It's essentially a flip of the exact Republican map where they had 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. So anyway, this is their best case scenario in 2022. Like if you like the video, obviously. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment if you disagree with any of the calls. And stay tuned for more videos. Make sure to subscribe. We're so close to 100. Let's get there. Thank you all very much.